So I have a fucking.
Yeah, I say keep it.
Gets it free from Henderson. Got it to Messer in front. Backhander scores. The puck back in. Campoli trying to clear it. Gerald just pressed. Lost the puck loose to Edwards. Back in for Alex. Gerald gets up in the air. Now McKinnon to the side. No! With the left glove. Are you kidding me? What a save.
Hey, Canucks Nation, Brandon Alston here, play-by-play for the Edmonton Canucks. You've got it locked in the line change, the Vancouver Canucks podcast.
What's up, Canucks Nation? Welcome to the post-game show. 6-1 loss for the Vancouver Canucks against the Dallas Stars. We're going to get into it. And let's not really waste any time on it and just dive right into the goals. As I see people piling in, let's just go ahead and talk about the goals. Starting off with a completely fluky goal for our Vancouver Canucks. You had Evander Kane with his 11th of the season, assisted by Jake DeBrusk and Marcus Pettersson at 7:57 of the first period. Of course, when I say fluky, I mean this literally went off his skate. So he didn't even use his stick. So that is why I call it a fluky goal. But it ends up being 1-0 Vancouver to start this game. And then, of course, another fluky goal. Adam Ernie would score to make it 1-1, his 4th of the season, assisted by Colin Blackwell. This one was at 17:40. And, of course, this one bounced off the end boards and slipped past Nikita Tolopilo. So a couple fluky goals to start this hockey game off. We fast forward to the second period, and you have Leon Bichel with his 2nd of the season, assisted by Lyubushkin and Steele at 8:31 to make it 2-1 Dallas. Then you had Jason Robertson with his 34th of the season on the power play to make it 3-1 Dallas. Merely a minute later, assisted by Duchesne and Heiskanen. And then we move towards the third period, and this is when the floodgates opened for the Dallas Stars. You had Matt Duchesne with his 12th of the season at 1:33 into the third period, assisted by Steele and Heiskanen. Then you had Blackwell at 5:40 to make it 5-1, and then you had Bichel once again scoring his 3rd of the season, assisted by Maverick Bourque and Jason Robertson at 15:41 of the third period, and that was basically the icer for the Vancouver Canucks. Looking at the game stats, and obviously the first thing that immediately jumps out is the 14 shots on goal for the Canucks, which is absolutely pitiful compared to the Dallas Stars' 37 shots on goal. Both teams were a 50% in the faceoff dot. Both of them were 30 for 60. Obviously, the Dallas Stars were 50% on the power play. They went 1 for 2, and the Canucks went 0 for 2. Hits, 19 even between the two teams. Block shots, 14-8 in favor of the Canucks. Giveaways were 21-14, and then takeaways were 4-3. Taking a look at the shots on goal that we just brought up. So in the first period, the Canucks outshot the Stars 7-6. In the second period, the Dallas Stars outshot the Canucks by a whopping margin, 16-4. And then 15-3 in the third period. And of course, the final shots, as we mentioned, 37-14. Now let's go ahead and dive into the player stats and see how the players did. We'll start off, as we always do, with Brock Besser, who's always at the top of the list. He was a -3 in this game and had an ice time of 15 minutes and 51 seconds. Connor Garland, zeros across the board, a ice time of 15 minutes and 58 seconds, 2 shots, 2 blocks, I believe. Sorry, the part of the top is hidden from that one. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. Now I can actually see. Drew O'Connor was a -3 with 12 minutes and 54 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 1 hit. Niels Höglander, who I do have some notes to talk about Niels Höglander. He was a -1, 11 minutes and 6 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 1 hit. Elias Pettersson was a +1, and he had an ice time of 19 minutes and 22 seconds. He had 1 block, 2 hits. Teddy Bluger was a -2, had an ice time of 16 minutes and 13 seconds, 2 hits. David Camp, a ice time of 13 minutes and 14 seconds with 1 block and 2 hits. Jake DeBrusk had an assist, and a ice time of 16 minutes and 56 seconds, 2 shots, 1 hit. Evander Kane was a +1 with that lone goal and had an ice time of 17 minutes and 22 seconds, 3 shots, 1 block, 1 hit. Liam Ogren was a -1 with a ice time of 14 minutes and 49 seconds, 1 shot, 1 block. And then you had Marco Rossi was a -3, 13 minutes and 43 seconds of ice time, 2 shots, 1 block. And then you had Linus Karlsson, who was a -1 and had an ice time of 11 minutes and 46 seconds with 2 hits. Moving down to the defensemen, you had Tom Willander was a -2 with 22 minutes and 33 seconds of ice time, 2 blocks. And then you had P.O. Joseph was a -1 with 10 minutes and 36 seconds of ice time. Philip Hronik was a -1 with 21 minutes and 2 seconds of ice time. So less ice time than Tom Willander. 1 shot, 2 block, 2 hits. And I'm not sure what that last one is. And then you had Zeev Buium, -1, 19 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time, 1 block. And then you had Marcus Pettersson, who was the highest time on ice defenseman in this game with 23 minutes and 43 seconds. He was a -3, had an assist. So for once, he actually freaking did something. 1 shot, 2 blocks. And then there you go. And then, of course, looking down at the goalies, this really pains me to say. Tolopilo, 31 saves on 37 shots, 6 goals against, a save percentage of .838. Yeah, that's painful to say just because of my love for Tolopilo. But there you go. Those are your stats. We're gonna get G back in here, and I guess I'll lead off. But just the few little notes that I have. I know you and I are probably bare minimum on the notes for this game. But obviously, I want to throw out at the top just the unlucky bounces in this game were obviously very noticeable, including Dallas's first goal. And even a unlucky, well, not unlucky, but a bounce on Kane's goal too. Bounced right off his skate. You and I were briefly talking about before we went live that there was no offense from the Canucks at all in this game. Like, it was non-existent. And it's you can see that by their 14 shots on goal.
It was the most boring game ever. It was so bad to the point where I don't know. I switched it to the basketball game because at least there's some sort of offense. Like, this game was just terrible. I mean, there was offense by Dallas, but I was fully involved in the first period. Saw the Kane goal and I was like, okay, shouldn't they? I think Irvin was talking about it in the chat. They could have challenged it, but they didn't. And I was like, I mean, he did slide into it and it went off his skate. So it wasn't a kicking motion. So that's why Dallas didn't challenge it. But that's just a lucky bounce. And then the 1-1 goal, it was off the end boards, off your favorite goalie's skate and in. So it's another skate goal.
Yeah.
And then that was it for the rest of the period. And it was just like, I was like there was no structure in the game at all.
No.
The only upside was probably, as usual, Garland, the third line, Garland, Bluger, Ogren. Ogren wasn't as noticeable today. Missed a few passes here and there. I think that was during the third. But in general, I think this whole team is just in dysfunction. Like, it's terrible. Like, I don't like, after the PD interview today and then the footy presser, It's just like, what are we watching, man? Like is there a point? Like,
Yeah,
is there a
very
point to
true.
watch games? Like, I have never missed a game for pretty much like 10 years. It wasn't until last year I missed one game because I was on a plane.
Mhm.
But aside from that, I haven't missed one game. I would catch at least one period of a game, even when I was living in Asia, and that says a lot. And now, like being in Vancouver or being in Canada and having access to Sportsnet Plus, and actually no, I'm sorry. When I was in Toronto, and I bring my Google Stick, which has Sportsnet Plus on it, I can't even watch the game. So it's the dumbest. Like I don't know what's wrong with Sportsnet Plus. Like these regional games are the stupidest things. Like I wanted to watch the Leafs game, I can't. You have to get the NHL package, which is something ridiculous, like $200-300 a year just to watch all these blackout games. Why?
Mhm.
So now it's just I go on the computer and you find one of those streams. I'm not promoting this. What you do and what you view on your computer is your choice. So don't be doing things that are illegal. But yeah, I have a buddy that sends me something that I can like watch off of. And yeah, I don't even see a point because the hockey is so bad. I think this show is about the post game is about how bad the hockey is. And
Yeah.
we've been blessed. We've been blessed during the Olympics to watch some of the best hockey players play hockey for a good, 7 to 10 days. And you go from that and you go watch the Canucks.
Yeah.
It's like pee-wee hockey. That's what it is.
Major difference.
So yeah.
But I know we're
I
kind
think
of
that's
ragging,
yeah.
on the offense a little bit. But I do have one player that kind of stood out. Not completely, but I noticed him, and that was Hogs. As I felt he had a couple good chances, especially that one timer, and then that shot that hit the crossbar. I noticed that. I noticed him. At least he's trying. I know he has yet to score this season, but that is one thing I wanted to point out that I noticed, and which leads me into Adam Foote and the fact that he keeps putting DeBrusque, Petey, and Kane together. It hasn't worked all fucking season. Stop fucking doing it. There's my little rant. Like, keep the Swedish line together. Put Höglander with Petey or Carlson, Ogren. Stop going back to DeBrusque, Petey, Kane. It hasn't worked. Stop doing it.
See, the problem is I've always defended Foote. I've defended Foote before in the past, and I've said it's his first year. He's a rookie head coach, and even when he was coaching in the minors, he was a head coach for some team. Like he didn't do very well, and it's just these bonehead moves. Like why? Just because Kane got a goal off his foot, you're gonna keep the line again? And you go from benching PD the previous game and then putting him back on the top line. Then what was the point of that? Like if you're trying to show some sort of control or some sort of, hey, I'm the leader of the Foot Clan, then you just you put PD on like the fourth line, man. You like know your role. But at the same time, you can't do that because he's the highest paid player. And the reason why I have this jersey on today is to show all you guys that, yeah, I'm still a PD fan, but I'm still going to rag on his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm wearing this out of respect, mainly because he tried to play goalie today. He tried to play goalie a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
Like the guy is trying his
he
best.
Wants to be a goalie. I think they said that on the broadcast too.
Because his offense has dried up. He went from going to be a defensive player that's blocking shots to now becoming a goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he can lose this A.
Yeah, but yeah,
I mean,
I know Alfred.
Who knows? You know what? Yeah, like who knows what if for some odd reason, like we end up losing one of the 3 goalies, let's say hypothetically they were able to trade Lankinen away, and you run with Demko and your boy Tolopilo, and then Demko goes down, then what happens? You can throw in PD. He can be your goaltender. I mean, he's playing 2 roles. He can. It's even better. Like if they were down like 2-1 and they need to pull the goalie, he'll just skate up and try to make his patented passes back and forth and not shoot. Right? Actually, no. I'm sorry. He did shoot today on the power play, which went 0 for 2 today. And Hronek is still horrendous at the point shot. Like he has this huge banger of a shot, but he's using it more now, but it's all over the place. It's not even close to the goal. So shot accuracy needs to be there, but you got to give them some props for shooting the puck. There was 2 shots on that first power play. The second power play I didn't really notice as much. It was just
I mean, it was only like 40 seconds.
Yeah, but still, like they had one zone entry, and that was it. So, yeah, so this is what it's going to be like the next while.
No, next, what, 24 games now? 23 games?
22.
22. All right. I mean, honestly,
yeah.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because we can kind of segue into that. Honestly, this loss doesn't bother me at all. It's I'm already at a point where this is a lost season. And that's just me. I'm not sure if you feel the same way, but I've already accepted that this is a lost season, and I'm not holding out for anything at all whatsoever.
No, you know what? Like I feel the same way. It's just I'm not really in a good mood. I'm kind of like pissy today, and I think every little thing's bothering me. So yeah, it's not necessarily to do with the Canucks. It's mainly other things. It just hasn't been a great day today. So watching them lose 6-1 is just, it's laughable. It's like, okay, cool. 6-1. Like I thought your boy Tolo would only let 2 goals in. That's the problem. I had some faith in him. I knew the Canucks were going to lose. I knew they were going to lose, but the problem is effort. Have some goddamn effort. It was just like a bunch of men just skating around doing nothing. That's what the whole game was about.
Yeah.
At the second period, when it was second period, right? 4-1.
Yeah.
Or that was the third period. Yeah. At the 4-1 goal, I was just like, I'm done, man. I turned the channel to the Clippers game because I got some bets on that game. And I was off by a goddamn assist. So that's why I'm kind of pissy because and then it was Garland's first. Sorry, it's another Garland. So there's a Garland that plays for the LA Clippers, and it's his first game back. It's his first game playing for the Clippers, and he was off by 1 assist, man. And it just it feels like it. And last night there was another game, which the Magic game was just, oh my god, Vegas just robbed everyone. There was a points, rebounds, and assists. I think it was at 28.5. And the bet hit. But 10 minutes after the game, NBA officially changed the score sheet and said one of his rebounds didn't count and it was a steal. And thousands of people lost out money. They just robbed people of money. And it was just something I like the last 2 days has just been I don't know. Like I've been thinking about, about Kane, about him betting and all of that. Is there corruption in betting? Because it feels like the officials are are trying to skew the games. And like, there's no point betting if these people can do whatever the hell, and at the end of the game, they'll be like, oh, we're gonna change like this to different category, or even like hockey games, like the Avs game. I don't know if you watched the Avs game. It was kind of ridiculous too. Like their third goal was called back because the official blew the whistle on the ice, but the goalie didn't have control of the puck. Like, I don't get these, like, it's just so terrible. Like, when I look at this, I used to just watch sports as sports, and now when I've started to make a few bets here and there, you finally understand how games are rigged. And it's so terrible. I'm sorry to say. And like, I don't know why I've kind of swerved into this, but this is why I'm kind of pissed off today. So anyways, let's go back to the Canucks.
I did want to highlight this question. Thank you for the question, by the way, Irv. Appreciate it. And I'm glad you asked this. Does EP40's game day availability from today bother you? And I'm going to say no, because it doesn't. Because we've heard him talk to the media before. We've heard his answers in the past. I also feel as though, and this is just me, there was no reason to bring up his benching. You already asked him about it. What was it, at the practice or whatever, after it happened? Close it. Like, end of story. Don't have to ask him multiple times about it when he's already given you a answer. So this is kind of me taking a shot at the media. Like, shut up. Stop bringing it up. And he'll stop giving you answers like that. But, it didn't bother me at all. And actually, I liked his little dig at the media.
Okay. I'm glad Swerve and Irvin brought this up, because him and I are going to have a segment that's going to be called BS. And it's kind of like this. It's kind of like what, like, Swervin asked Tyler this question. He's taking one side of the story. I'm going to take the other side. And then we'll let the chat kind of decide. Like, I'm going to test this out a little bit, because we're going to bring this it's called Between Shifts that we're going to have on the show. And we're going to talk about a topic or a question, and each person is going to take a side. So Tyler thinks that media should shut the fuck up. But here's my take. I think that PD, being this highest paid player, and all to him, he got paid. He got bank because he earned it. And let's not go to the talking point about, oh, he's 11.6 and he needs to score, he needs to do this, needs to do that. No, he doesn't have to. He's not obligated to. Management gave him that contract. So with that said, even though I'm defending him, he needs to set an example for the young kids. Like, you're in the locker room and you have all these young kids. You have the Ogrins, you have Willander, you have Buem, you have like whoever. And you calling out the media, how professional is that? Even though if we know media is not the greatest at most times, you can't be calling them out and taking shots at them. Just take your accountability. He did take accountability at the end when I think they said something about, it's been exactly how long since he did the extension, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I wish I scored more goals. I wish this, and it's like the 2-year anniversary. Yeah, he took the accountability, but taking shots at the media is not right. Because you're a grown-ass man and you're a professional. You get paid the big bucks to play this game. That's why these media outlets are paid the smaller bucks to interview you and ask you stupid questions. If you don't like it, be like Hronek and be like, next. Not answering that. No comment. Not going to talk about it. Yeah. Why take a jab at it? It's not. We're not in elementary school. We're not in elementary school. It's like, you do this to me, I'm going to do this to you. Fuck no. Grow the fuck up. Be a mature guy. And I'm sorry, like, even if you guys are going to rat on me, but like, you guys are going to like give me shit right here in the chat, or whoever watches this afterwards. Seriously, just be a grown up and just, there's times silence is the biggest answer. And you don't need to take jabs and make things uncomfortable, because people are going to make it worse, because you're only going to add fuel to the fire. If you stop it and say, no, I'm not at, like, it's, when do you know how to say no? Or like they teach us in school, just say no. It's like, just say no to drugs. Just say no to this. Just say no to that. If someone's not treating you well, just say no. That's it, man. There's nothing else needed. And now, the media is going to have a field day tomorrow, or if they didn't have it today already, they're going to have more, and they're going to be talking about you, and they're going to make you feel worse, because when you hear it or look at it, it's going to affect your mental health or your emotions and all that. Why would you give them the opportunity to do that? Why would you fuel them to continue this conversation, this topic, when you could have just been like, yeah, it was his decision. It was the coach's decision, and I respect it, and that's it. Leave it at that. Trade rumors, it is what it is. Talk to my agent. We're done. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally right. And I just want to say, the whole, don't do drugs. South Park taught you, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But Urban is right. Also, there were a lot of shit questions directed towards PD.
There's shit questions every day.
That's always.
It's like Clay asking, it's like, oh, what do you, like, this game's coming, what do you feel? Like, how do you feel about this? How the fuck do I feel? I'm going to try my best, and that's it. Like what, like, who teaches these it's not even broadcasting, media, how to interview people? Are you brain dead? Or like if you ask yourself, like, I want to ask these people that interview, and if I get roasted, I get roasted, whatever. Have you ever asked yourself that question in your mind before you ask the players? If you haven't, maybe ask yourself and think, hey, if I ask myself this and I'm that person giving the answer, what would I think of that question? Or how would I answer it? If you're like, I don't know how I'm going to answer it, and you expect them to answer it, then you already asked the wrong question. It's like, why would you put yourself out there in media and people think you're not credible and you're a fucking idiot for asking stupid questions? See, now I'm defending PD in a way also, but still, at the end of the day, he knows the media in and out. They see each other every day. You know what? Maybe pull him aside afterwards. When the cameras are off the record, just be like, hey, PD, blah, blah, blah. Ask him personally. That's fine. And you can maybe write about it. Or PD could be like, pull him aside and be like, hey, so-and-so, can you stop asking me stupid ass questions and creating these rumors and pushing all this? Like, there's ways around it. It's called communication. The world can only turn if you communicate with each other. You guys are part of the same, industry. One's a reporter, one's a hockey player. You guys talk to each other. You guys should have that team mentality. It's a team sport. So you guys work with each other day in, day out. Why not talk about it and be like, hey, next time, you know what? Can you not ask me those stupid questions, or I'm just not going to talk to you when you interview me? It's that simple, man. Just talk to each other.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And while on this subject, I know shortly after the Olympic break, there was this whole kerfuffle, and this is not Canucks related, but with, I forget his name, works for doesn't work for the Oilers, but he covers the Oilers, and he's a massive dumbass. But he asked McDavid that question. You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I know.
And McDavid's answer, imagine if PD had an answer like that.
Yeah.
That is how you handle that situation. That is an example of how you handle that situation. And I have to give McDavid props. I shit on him a lot, but I have to give him props for that answer. And yes, it's Mark Spector. He's a fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
I hate Spec.
And he's been
it's like, why would you
he's been in the market so long.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you watch any there's Barn Burner on the Nation Network. I absolutely love watching Barn Burner. They're hilarious, and they went to town on, or I forget his name, but he's usually the one who's in the middle. He went off on Spectre, going like, why would you ask that question to Connor McDavid of all people? Like, why would you bring that up? And yeah, he full on went off, and I highly recommend looking it up. Barn Burner, it was so funny. But yeah, that is how you answer a stupid question like that. You come up with an answer like what McDavid did. But like, oh, that's a nice question. Thanks. That was like
Here,
a brilliant answer.
I have it right here. Oh, please don't freeze.
I did.
Am I frozen?
No, you're good right
Damn
now.
it.
Oh, wait.
Okay, right here. This is a hard. Can you see the screen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ignore the ads and stuff. So this is a hard question, but Stanley Cups found Gretzky, Crosby, and those guys, and gold medals, and you put yourself in position, and it's not finding you. Did you think it would be this hard? What, like, he obviously this was he thought about this hard. And, and then he worded all of this. He took time to actually curate this question.
Mm-hmm.
And then his answer was, that's a nice question. Thank you.
Yeah.
So PD would be like, thanks for the question.
Scroll back up a bit.
It's like, yeah.
The fact that he said Stanley Cups found Gretzky and Crosby, they didn't find them. They fucking won them. You idiot. Like, and that's what the guy on Barn Burner really torched him about. They didn't find those two players. They won the Stanley Cups. They won them. They didn't find them.
Yeah.
Like, we talk about word vomit and freaking word salad, as Russell likes to say with Foot. That is a whole bunch of freaking word vomit / word salad right there.
Yeah, it's
Like, Spectre is a fucking idiot, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
There's just a lot of media out there that's not very great.
Here, did they mention that
one person that I
already spoken post game?
Yeah, he already spoke.
Foot has already spoken post game. Let's see if I can pull that up. Actually,
yeah, he's
let me see.
It's
if
just
I can
a lot
share
of
this.
crap that came out of his mouth that we didn't. Yeah.
A lot of word salad, as Russell likes to coin. By the way, big shout out to Russell. Here, let me see if I can share. None. Boom. See if this works. Not showing up.
So while Tyler does that, I just have to say, like, there's someone that I've enjoyed or I've had the chance to talk to in media, and I think he thinks about his questions. He thinks about, how to present himself, how to ask, and this is a huge shout out to Beggsy, Trevor Beggs.
Beggsy.
I was actually watching one of the clips from Locked On the NHL. So it's part of the whole network, and Beggsy's is part of Locked On Canucks. So they did an interview about trade deadline and about how what he thinks about what's going to happen before the trade deadline, what's going to happen after, and I enjoyed watching it. So if you guys want to know more about it, go look up Locked On the NHL or even Locked On Canucks and watch that interview that Beggs did. He was being interviewed, but yeah. Anyways, back to the Foot clan leader. Are you trying to play it?
Tough bounce on a total on that end board. They made it 3-1 in the second. We in the third, it was interesting. We lost the handle like one of our D's at a turnover. He's trying to go deep with it. It was the right play. Just got to use the boards, and I think he fanned on it. And then, OC lost the handle, fumbled the puck, and went right to them for a goal. So those two plays, I don't think are those guys getting kind of nervous or wound up. It was more, I don't know. It usually don't see those guys do those things, but after that, it just seemed like we've all been there before as players. It doesn't go your way, you feel, like you're like, oh, it's you don't feel anything's going your way. That's where you just got to dig deep and stick together and put out the fires together and play like we did in the first. But it's to learn. You learn from it, right? You're gonna have to learn the hard way. You're playing against a really good, savvy hockey team on their A game, even with a couple guys out. They won 9 in a row coming in, and those types of plays are going to bury you on it.
Do you have an update on P.O. Joseph, and with the fact that Tyler's been taking warm-ups lately, if he has to miss time, I assume you'll have to recall a defenseman here pretty quickly?
Yeah, we'll find out. I think he's getting some x-rays while we were playing at the end there, so we'll see what's gone up with the upper body there.
You give up those 2 goals early in the second period, and then in the second and third, your team combined for just 7 shots. When you got down like that, and you've had some of those moments, Evander talked about it, where you give up goals, in quick succession. Where you are at the standings right now, like, is it tough to push back in those moments?
Well, you're also playing against a real savvy team that's, they're clogging it up. The guys were trying to push back there. They didn't. You look at the first period, we didn't have, what they have, 7 shots. I think it was pretty even, and it's just staying in it, not getting deflated when a couple things don't go your way. Like, how does that bounce happen? I don't know. I'm not a goalie, but I would think that that's a tough bounce. But on maybe a veteran goalie, he may come back a little bit different, and that doesn't go in. But that's learning. That's just going through it. And you're like,
what is this garbage?
You could feel, well, what? Like we felt like we were right there, and that's not on total. That happens in hockey. And, it's like, I was just talking to some of the guys that have played a long time. We've all been in games, even when our Stanley Cup years, where we lose 8-0 or 8-1 and no one says a word and everything went wrong. Here, the key is, it happened in San Jose game, that feel.
Okay. I can't listen to any more of this word salad. I can't listen. Shut the fuck up. I can't listen to any more of that. What a fucking buffoon.
We were right there.
We were right there. No, we weren't.
Yeah.
You played 20 minutes of decent hockey, and then you didn't show up. That is not. We were.
It wasn't even 20 minutes, though. That's the problem. It wasn't even 20 minutes of hockey. It was more like 10 to 15.
Yeah. Like, oh man, like I totally get it. He's the perfect tank commander. I'll give him credit for that. He's a perfect tank commander, but this guy's got to go. Like, I'm sorry, but he's got to go.
No.
Like, I don't think the fan base will be able to endure another 2 years of this.
No, but the problem is Aquilini's not going to shell out money again to get another coach. This is going to be what? So we had Boudreau, Tocchet, then Adam Foote. And just before Boudreau, there was Travis Green. Dude, within the last, how many? It's been 6-7 years. We've had 4 coaches already. 4. Like, how does that look on a organization? Like, it's just so bad.
True. Yeah.
And today, like, damn, like LA just fired their coach. And they had their interim coach for the first time today. And I'm thinking, holy crap, like, yo, trade deadlines in 3.5 days. 3.5 days, and you go and fire your coach? Like, that's messed up.
Out of nowhere.
Like, that's
out of nowhere too. Like,
yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
Days ago at all, but it looks like the wheels are falling off for the Kings. And I'll admit, not that I'm saying that I don't like the Kings or despise the Kings, but I said this at the start of before the season started, that the moves they made in the offseason, they were going to shit the bed. And they're shitting the bed right now. So that brings a smile to my face because I was like, hey, I got one right for once. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this is all gonna, like, I think LA is gonna fall apart. And then let's look at the standings. Seriously, like,
And yeah, Irvin's got a good point. And this is supposed to be Kopitar's farewell. Although I will say,
farewell, no playoffs.
obviously losing Fiala was a huge blow for sure. But their offense was struggling even before Fiala got hurt.
Yeah. So should we pull up the? Okay, I want to see something here and show you guys. Okay, where are we here? Okay, so we're at the standings right now, the East. Let's do the West. So obviously your top dogs, the Avs, Stars, Wild. Come on, man. You're playing the Stars today. Like, they're at 83 points. Canucks are at 43.
They're on pace for 58.
43. So that's 40 points more. So you can't, I mean, there's not much you can, yeah, it is what it is. Secondly, LA is right here.
Yeah.
They're what?
They have 62
4 points off of the wild card.
Yeah.
So they're just off of the Oilers for 4 points, but they also have one game ahead. So it would be 2 points.
They're tied with Nashville and San Jose.
I am surprised how Nashville has climbed up this year.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised. I seriously would not be surprised if the Sharks make the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the Oilers getting knocked out and they don't make the playoffs this year. After going to the conference finals twice, the Stanley Cup finals twice in the last 2 years. That'd be kind of crazy. So if San Jose jumps over Oilers, they don't make it, then they would be playing the Avs. That would be nice. I would like to watch that. Come on. Macklin Celebrini against McKinnon.
Makar and McKinnon, yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Utah against Vegas. Oh, this would be kind of interesting, but Knights would annihilate them. And then Ducks, Kraken, Stars, and Wild. So Seattle, I don't know if they're gonna keep it up. They've won 2 in a row, and they have actually won a couple. Like, they're 7-3. Before this, I think they won.
Last 10.
Yeah, they were. I think they won like 4 or 5 in a row, lost one, and then they're back on the streak. So, yeah, I don't know if Seattle can keep this up, but if Edmonton makes it, I would say, yeah, Utah or Seattle doesn't make it.
I mean, if you look at
because you know Edmonton, yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the Ducks too, they've won 5 straight and they're 8-2-0 in their last 10. They're right there.
Yeah. Dude, did you see the McTavish goal? The goal?
That was fucking beautiful. I saw that and I was like, oh, remember we kind of wanted that guy? That's why.
Yeah. Well, there's no way in hell now. So,
well, Ducks would be foolish to let go of a guy like that.
Yeah. And then in the East, look, Rangers 54 points. Still, they have 11 points more than the Canucks. 11. And they actually came back. You know what? They were down 4-0.
Yeah, they were down 4. Yeah, and they came back.
4-0 at home. 4-0 going into the third. They tied the game in the third. 2 goals in 30 seconds. And then they go and tie it up 4-4, go into overtime. Holy crap. And you know what? JT Miller had a goal called back too, I think. I don't know if it was JT Miller, but he was on the ice for it. But yeah, this year is going to be interesting. It's just like the Leafs are going to be out. Florida most likely will be out.
That kind of surprises me a
they have
little
more
bit.
games.
Florida being that far down kind of surprises me a little bit.
Well, come on, man. Like, you know, Kachuk was out for a bit. Barkov was out. Yeah, you know, Jets are going to be out. Like it's a whole different set of teams for the playoffs this year. Yeah, I think Oilers should make it. I mean, they got another Connor today from the Hawks.
Yeah,
there's Connor Murphy.
Yeah, Connor Murphy. Yeah,
and they paid a second for Connor Murphy. And I think it was a 4.4 retained, so 2.2 million. So it fits in. That's why they waived Mangiapane or Mangipane. That's why they waived him. Because or else they wouldn't be able to do this deal. Why didn't they just take Kane back and the Canucks can retain and the Canucks take the second? Like what did you know Patrick Galvin and Rutherford not think about that? For God's sakes, they didn't have to waive Mangiapane. They could have just been like, here, we'll trade you Mangiapane and a second for Kane.
Yeah.
That would work. Instead of having like 3 Connors on a team.
Is it 3? Oh yeah, I guess I have Ingram as well. I forgot about Ingram. All right. We're at about what, 47 minutes or just at 48. Let's do let's do my sponsor read, and then before we do that, we'll do the bets, or just look at like a game for tomorrow. I'm just pulling it up right now.
Here, I have it.
You got it? Yeah, you go ahead.
You want me to share it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Justin. Good to see you, buddy. So yeah, I guess let's go with the Vegas Sabres one, since it's up at the top. By the way, speaking of Sabres, they're on fucking fire right now.
So we have 11 games on the docket tomorrow. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on this game because the Sabres, Tage Thompson, you know, Darlene against Vegas. I could potentially seeing this going into a tie. Pittsburgh and Bruins, Mammoth Capitals, Florida Devils. What's a good deal? Let's see here. I actually like this. Flames over the Stars for plus 100. So $10 gets you 20. And because the Flames didn't play today, Dallas played. I mean, even though it wasn't that hard. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Flames beat them. They played a really good game last game too. And then the Wild and Lightning. Yeah, I would also take the Wild too. So let's say $10. Actually, let's do the parlay. So $10 gives you 40. Actually, no. Delete this. So if you do the parlay, these two games, $10 gets you 42, which I think is very reasonable. Or even if you want to go low and you go $5, that's still $20. Those are some good odds. Because Calgary at plus 100, Wild at 110. Come on, you have the Wild, you have Kaprizov. Like even if just going by the Wild for $10 gets you 21. That's like a no-brainer. That would be my pick.
All right. All right, cool. Let's
And if you wanted to go in depth with it, then bet on Hughes to get over half a point.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
I think that's
all right.
I actually might even put some money on that too. So Wild and Hughes over half a point.
All right, let's get into the sponsor read. Once again, this post-game show is a proud presentation of DraftKings Sportsbook, which is an official sports betting partner of the NHL. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is built for the fastest game on ice. With player props and live betting, every shift, every shot, every save gives you options to get in on the game with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois, 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario, restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Copyright 2026 NHL, all rights reserved. Good. All right, let's jump into the comments. I did notice a few. Oh yeah, I guess we haven't really talked about this. Clay and I kind of touched on it a little bit the other day when I had Clay on. But apparently the Sharks are looking to flip Sherwood, which is a little surprising, considering what they paid to acquire him. We haven't really gotten your thoughts on that. When you hear that Sharks might flip Sherwood at the deadline, what goes through your mind when they say that?
Good on them, man.
Yeah.
Like, good on them. Because, I don't know, man. Sherwood, 29 years old. He's asking for $5 million. That's minimum. Like, I think he's looking for term and $5 million. Yeah. Yeah, for the Sharks, I mean, he would be a character guy for the young kids on how to play right. And I think Sherwood's an incredible player. But is that money worth it? So the reason why they're potentially trading him and flipping him is the fit might not be there. Like as of right now, like I don't think Sherwood fits the system. That's probably why. And Sherwood looks so good because he's on a terrible Canucks team. But when you have players like Celebrini, to Foley, you have all these great players. Do you really need a Sherwood? And Sherwood's trying to score as opposed to, make his big hits. And I just feel like, yeah, it might not be the best fit. So when Sharks actually traded for him, yeah, I was kind of like, huh, I don't know. So if anything, I think it's good that they can flip him. I hope Sherwood can go to a team like, I don't know, the Wild or even Colorado. Dude, he would play so well in Colorado.
Oh yeah.
He would beef up that fourth line, third line. It would be amazing. So good on the Sharks if they are able to get a pick back in return.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, it also kind of makes you think, looks like the Canucks kind of got a steal. I mean, getting those 2 second-round picks, and then if the Sharks do end up flipping Sherwood, they undoubtedly win that trade. Although I do feel as though they already have.
Yeah.
But it would be a no-brainer that they won that trade if San Jose ends up flipping Sherwood. I did want to highlight this. What's up, Russell? I see Russell's in the chat.
Yeah.
I did want to highlight this because I mean, I didn't watch Russell's stream earlier, but apparently Dustin Boydell, from what I'm gathering, went off or something. Because according to Urban, we got Mount Boydell. And Connor even says his explosion made Mount Vucevic quiver in fear. I like that. I like that, Connor. That's a good one. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch and see what was going on. I mean, according to Duo, Dustin was drunk. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, a game like this will probably do that to you. But we have Daniel Misich. Haven't seen you before. Good. Thank you for being here. Somebody new in chat. Always good to see. Obviously we have Justin. I mentioned Justin's in here. That's the thing too. Urban said he wants to hear from Mount Credible. So is that saying like Justin's got
What do you think?
something to get off his chest? Does Justin got something to get off his chest? I mean, if he does, I'm all for it.
Let's ask him in the chat.
Although,
okay, I'll talk to
that,
Justin. Give me a sec.
Yeah, ask Justin, but I do want to answer this question. For someone who didn't watch the game tonight, I mean, I watched partial. You and I both watched like partial, like bits and pieces. Use 3 words to describe the game tonight. I'm trying to think of the 3 words that first. I want to use. Oh, I think I got it. Fucking dumpster fire. That's mine. I see Urban's got hot steaming garbage.
Unspirited mental breakdowns. Well, not even a breakdown because they just weren't trying. It was just lack of trying.
Yeah. This is a good one from Irv. We want Gavin. There's your 3 word. And yeah, sell the team.
No, but
I guess another.
Here's the thing: if this
one
team
is
sorry,
yeah, another 3 word one.
Go
fucking word salad. How about that one? Just
not
like
for the
Foot.
game, man.
No.
How about Foot Clans dying?
That's a good one. Oh, apparently Daniel's a Leafs fan. So and he says he can understand your frustration coming from a Leafs fan. Oof, yeah. Yeah, you guys have
yeah.
Since the Olympics. Oh man.
How do we have a Leafs fan watching the stream? This is amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming
this is
on,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, thanks for coming. We have this in common on how
Actually,
bad our teams are playing.
Leafs fan. Hey, since we have a Leafs fan in the house, can you tell me how it's like? Chat. Also, in the shootouts, just feels like he's just choking, man. Like it just, man. Nylander did his job today. Nylander did his job, tied the game, amazing. But Matthews, how does this guy feel captaining the U.S. team that won? And then now he goes back to the Leafs. Dude, you have Nylander on your team. Like, how do you guys not work out? Like, I saw a report recently about how, Matthews should be traded down to the U.S., one of the U.S. teams. Maybe he just needs a new reset. Maybe it's Toronto's just too big for him. And he can't do his thing. It's just like media all over his ass. Kind of like how Vancouver media is all over PD. I think these players need to go somewhere that, they're not there's not as much media coverage. Like there's other sports teams that are in town that people will watch. What do you guys think? What does this Leaf fan Daniel think? Do you think Austin Matthews should stay in Toronto or he should be traded? Because it's kind of like your Austin Matthews is like our Elias Pettersson. I think they just both need a new fresh start somewhere else, and let's do a rebuild of the Canadian teams and let's have a race. Let's see who does it faster, Toronto or Vancouver. Anyways, I see Justin in the back, but Justin,
let's see who
clear
first.
your camera. Clean your camera. It's a little blurry.
Yeah. Let's see who leaves first, Austin Matthews or Elias Pettersson.
Okay, are we ready? Are we ready for our Mount Credible?
Mount Credible, yeah. Do you want to just get rid of the DraftKings thing?
Oh yeah, sure. Just give me a second.
Yeah. Just to help with the lag a little bit. There we go. All right, we ready? Do a countdown?
Yep. You ready, Justin?
3.
You ready, buddy? 2, 1.
One's
Hey,
to the
guys.
sky.
What's going on, buddy?
How are you?
Hey, buddy.
Good to see you guys.
Good?
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And-
I vented a lot already on tonight's stream, on Russell. Obviously, you guys know my takes on PD and his struggles post-Olympics, but I'm not going to flack too much on him because you guys already know that I just think there's a lack of maturity on his part, with his press conference today, saying that he knows he hasn't been living up to his contract and that he does need to play better. I'll give him the credit for saying that and acknowledging that. But at the same time, I think one of the reporters asked him about, like, what do you guys think about the trade rumors involving you? And, the first thing that comes out of his mouth was like, you guys are the ones making up those trade rumors. And I'm just like, it's the same immature PD as before, no accountability, no saying that, if he played anywhere up to his potential, there wouldn't be trade rumors involving his name to begin with, right? So I don't know. I just think, as a growing, rebuilding young team, a lot of the young guys are going to look up to the leaders on this team. And I know we got rid of Horvat, we got rid of Miller, we got rid of Hughes. A lot of the vets are going to have to be counted on, the Padies, the Ronix, the Garlands, the Bessers, the Bruss. The young guys are going to look up to you when times are tough, when the team is sucking this badly, that they don't want to see the highest paid player blame the media. They don't want to say, there needs to be a lot more maturity from Pedersen, saying that, yes, the season hasn't gone his way, but I need to do a better job of making sure that the next wave of young guys who might look up to me, it has something admirable to look up to, right? And I think the first thing that I really lost my cool on is you would never see the Sedins do that. The Sedins were always front and center when it comes to answering media's questions, taking accountability on themselves. And even when things were tough, even when the Canucks sucked, what did the Sedins do? They thought that they weren't good enough. And what did they do? They worked their asses off in the offseason. They came back to camp as one of the top two in shape. And that's just something we haven't seen from Petey, is stepping up to the plate. We're not saying he has to score and put up 3 points every single night, but, seeing some heart, seeing some shots on goal, leading by example, that even if the production is not going your way, you're setting a good standard for the Bruins, the Rossies, the Ogrins of the future to at least put that work ethic in. Because if you're a guy scrapping to make the team next year as a third line, fourth line guy, as a rookie, as a young player like Karamaki, you don't want to be seeing, the highest paid player not give a shit. You don't want to be seeing all the vets on this team checked out with 23 games left to go. I'm going to flack on Besser just as much. He's a great guy, but -3 tonight, defensively horrible. Marcus Pedersen, a veteran in the league, horrible tonight. And there was just no fight whatsoever. So yes, I'm going to flack on PD for no shots, but
was it the
everyone else.
Goal or the fourth goal? Fifth or fourth goal that PD, like Marcus Pedersen, it was him. It was all on him.
It was all on Pedersen. Yes, I did see that. And then there was one play where I think it was Garland carrying the puck over the line, and then he kind of did a little pivot, tried to pass it to DPD, went off his skate, and nobody could seem to receive a clean pass tonight. And then all of a sudden, I see Niels Lundqvist, like the Stars' 5th defenseman, on a breakaway. How bad are we when we're giving the 5th defenseman a breakaway? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, and I feel so bad for Tolopilo because he's a young goalie. He has a lot of potential, but we totally left him out to dry. And if you're Tolopilo, you should be completely pissed at the entire team tonight. There was no effort. I think there was only 13 shots, close to the end of the game. And I mentioned this on Russell's stream. I was like, everyone's kind of checked out, everyone looks up to PD saying, this guy's getting paid $12 million a year, $11.6 million a year, hasn't had a shot in 3 games. Why should we shoot? Right? And so it runs down. You look up to the guy.
Remember you and I were chatting during the game, and I told you on the power play, he did shoot the puck. It just got
blocked. Yes. But the thing is, yes,
Tyler,
he had shot attempts.
Right here, this guy right here, I was talking to him during the game, and I'm like, yo, PD got a shot. And then he goes up to NHL.com. He's like, I had to apparently check. Not on NHL.com. This guy
on
right
NHL.com. Like, apparently I had to check because I was like, it's a rarity, the fact that PD actually got a shot on goal. But, he had a couple shot attempts. But why are we lowering the bar for PD over and over? First it was, yes, he's blocking shots.
Okay, wait. We're not lowering the bar, Justin. Okay, brother,
fair enough.
I love you, and you know how I see it. I respect your views. That's why we brought you on. We respect your views, and we brought you on. But at some point, you got to stop just hating PD for PD. Like, fair. He has been trying. He's been trying. Okay, I've been trying to be on both sides of the coin. So yes, okay, he's getting paid the big bucks. But don't blame him. Blame management. You understand this point.
Oh, trust me. Management has played their part in allowing it to get to this far.
Okay. Secondly, it's not that he's not trying. It's not that he didn't come to camp ready to go. I mean, he did build up that 13 pounds 13 of muscle. 13 pounds of leg muscle. No, it was upper body muscle.
Upper body.
That's why he's that's why he's falling like Bambi, because he doesn't have his legs. He's like a Joel Embiid. Like he just like wobbles like a fucking giraffe. Anyways, or like a deer, like a Bambi. Okay, so
He needs
it's
more
not
balance.
the work ethic. Yeah, it's not the work ethic. He has a work ethic there.
Fair.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
I agree with you about the maturity of
Yeah.
how to handle the media and how to handle adversity.
Yeah.
Russell is gonna bust on me for saying this, but at the same time, he has gone through family
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
We have to
I agree.
empathize for that. We
I
have to
do.
empathize
Yeah.
to that. So come on, man. Cut him some slack. Like
I do
it's
understand the
not that
empathy
he's
part.
not trying.
I
It's not
do
that he's not
understand the
trying.
empathy part. The effort is there. But I'm just saying, as a core guy on this team that young guys are supposed to look up to, there's not much that they have a lot to aspire to right now when they're looking up at Pedersen when it comes to his maturity, because they don't want to grow up to have the same sort of mentality. And it's setting a very bad precedent in terms of culture. And that's why I was like, this core, you were mentioning the Maple Leafs earlier and the race to see who does it faster. And I was like, the Toronto core four has been a thing for years now, and how Toronto fans have wanted it to be blown up, long before this season. And that's why I was like, with the Canucks core, we don't have a core right now. It used to be we had one of the deepest cores in the league until the management group somehow fucked it up. And now we have like a Demko that's injury prone. We have a Pedersen that's well underperforming. Hughes is gone. Miller's is gone. Horvat's gone. Like, who else do we have in this core that we can really build around? It's great
Okay,
that we're going to get a McKenna or Stenberg, right? But we need a fresh, new perspective. And I'm just saying it's best for both parties that if Pedersen can somehow see that, it's better for Pedersen to get a fresh start elsewhere. And it's also going to be better for the Canucks in the long run to, have a fresh core to start with. Because if we're going to do this rebuild right, you're going to have to do it full blown, strip it down completely. You can't keep Pedersen as part of a core for a future rebuild if this is what he's going to be giving us. Because I don't see any chance that the media is going to ease up on Pedersen over the next few seasons if we keep him around. Even if he gets back to 60 or 70 points by miraculous, if he gets a McKenna on his wing or a Stenberg on his wing, the damage has been done. Like, PD's always going to be second guessing himself. Media's always going to be flacking on himself. And the fan base has already soured so much that PD's just not going to be able to handle the noise in this market. So
okay, so let me throw this at you. So management came in with the core 4, 5, whatever we had. We had Horvat, we had JT Miller, we had Quinn Hughes, we had Elias Pettersson, we had and Bob Besser. So that's 5, right?
And Demko.
And now we're only down to 2.
Yeah.
Okay, 6. So at one point in the 23-24 season, we had 6 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Right? And we had Elias Lindholm too.
Yeah.
And we also had Talkett on it.
Yeah.
So how do you go from that to this? Anyways, that's a different story. What I'm trying to ask you right now is, so when management came in, this whole core was not theirs. Who was the player that they brought in? Who is the management's first move on this team?
Well, they made a lot of moves back then to try to reshape the future.
Who was a player that they put their stamp of approval on and went out and got?
You mean this offseason? Like,
no. From the beginning of management until now.
Oh man, they did a lot. Like, I still remember the Lindholm, the Zadorov moves. Like, those were culture shakers.
I'll tell you this. So management is not going to be trading away the moves that they put the stamp of approval on, unless it's like shit like Desharnais or Heinen or like
Mhm.
whatever, right? Their first pick that after coming in is they sent Bo Horvat away, and they used that pick immediately and picked up Philip Hronek.
Mhm.
And who is in line to be captain? Philip Hronek. He has that maturity. He has that, no bullshit. Like media comes, it's like he's gonna ask him a question and be like, nope, not answering that.
Yeah.
And he's been a good mentor to a
Yeah.
lot of the young kids.
Mhm.
Second person that they brought in was after they traded JT Miller, and that's Marcus Pettersson.
Yeah.
So these two D-men, trust me, they're not going to be moving them. And
No.
when JR actually did the presser, he's just like, the untouchables is Philip Hronek. Why? Because that's their prized possession. And you can see Philip Hronek has held his ground. When Quinn Hughes was hurt, he came in, played the big minutes, held his ground, and now Quinn Hughes is gone. Like when Quinn Hughes was here, they played well together. And now
Two
Quinn Hughes
different reasons.
is in Minnesota. He is taking the team on his back in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not perfect, but it shows that he can be that top line D-man.
Yeah, and I agree
If
with
I
you.
was management, yeah. If I was management, and you know what, I wouldn't be so keen on this. Like, oh, that's our first pick. That's our stamp of approval. We need to keep him.
Mhm.
Philip Hronek is probably their biggest trade chip.
I agree.
Their
He's got the
biggest.
most value.
If Tyler Myers, if people are calling about Tyler Myers, why haven't people been calling about Hronek? If someone were to come and be like, hey, we'll give you a package, kind of like somewhere around, not like Hughes level, but
Yeah.
close to, would you not even like consider it?
You have to. If you were a smart
That's when
management group, you have to. Because Ronik's got the most
That's
value.
when
But I was also going to say for two different reasons. Ronik's with the leadership ability. I know he gets criticized based on how he handles the media and how he doesn't like to handle, but that's completely fine. That's just his style. But the way he can carry a pairing on his own when Hughes isn't around has shown me that he's able to be a top tier defenseman. And that's the reason why I don't think Ronik is being moved, because of those qualities. The second one, Marcus Pettersson, obviously he's not worth the first that we paid. And the reason why they're not going to move Marcus Pettersson is because they're going to this management group is going to look super dumb if they move Marcus Pettersson, because they gave up a first for him. And that's a high price to pay, because then that's pretty much saying we gave up a first and we gave up JT Miller for this guy that we're going to give up now.
No, but
So
here's
there's
the thing.
there's no recourse. They have to keep
Okay,
Marcus Pettersson no matter how bad he is,
yeah,
because of the price that they paid
that's
for
true.
him.
But I mean, that is a given. We didn't actually touch on that, but when Rain was on, Big Brain was
Yeah.
on last weekend, I believe, we talked about this. And I said to Rain, I said, hey, no, it wasn't a first for Marcus Pettersson. It was
Yeah.
a first that got us Doc, Marcus Pettersson, and we got rid of Heinen and Desharnais.
Yeah,
So technically, it's not a first,
fair enough. If you're counting
right?
the supplemental pieces around that package, then sure. Yeah.
But for me right now, I would say, because Swerve and Irvin actually asked me the other day, and we're prepping for the show that's
Mhm.
coming up in less than 3 days,
Nice.
10 p.m. March 5th. Sorry, I'm plugging this right now.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And he asked me a question, and he's like, do you believe in management? And Justin, I'm going to ask you the same question: is when would you believe the rebuild? Like, under what circumstances would you finally believe that management is under rebuild? Like, give me a couple points.
When would I fully trust that they're actually on this path of a complete fully rebuild? As soon as Pettersson gets traded, because that marks
I said the same thing.
that marks the very cornerstone. That sends the clearest signal that he's the very last piece of this core that we've had. As soon as you ship him out, if he waves and you ship him out, that sends a an earthquake message to the market, that sends a message to media, that sends a message to this province and fan base that they are committed. They are fully committed, because you are not going to convince this fan base, who is a very passionate, very smart fan base, that you can still try to maybe re-tinker or retool by keeping Pedersen around, by maybe getting a McKenna or a Stenberg and maybe picking up a couple free agents to kind of try to cover up the patches, which they've been doing for the last decade. But as soon as you move Pedersen out of here, there's no other core remnants of the core that we've known for the last decade. So that is pretty much saying the next wave of Canucks, the Bruins, the Willanders, the DPDs, the Coots, the McKennas, the Stenbergs, that is the new core. Then that is going to be the clearest sign for me to trust this management group that the rebuild is on. So
That is fair. That is fair.
Hang on.
Tyler, how
After
about you?
that
Same
answer,
thing? I think you've been like nodding. So
after that answer, I gotta play this. See if it works.
sound effects.
Wait, no, I'm literally
Where?
on the same boat. I'm on the.
Yeah.
I literally knew exactly what you were gonna say because I've been saying it lately. I don't know if you guys seen my Pedersen videos, which by the way are getting lots of tracks, so I might keep doing it. But no, I said the same thing in one of those videos. This rebuild does not officially start until they move Petey.
Yeah.
And the fan base will actually believe that they're actually doing a full rebuild, not a rebuild in a hybrid form once Petey is gone.
Exactly. And that's the scariest part is if you keep Petey around, there's always that fear that as soon as the team starts to turn a little corner or show a little sign of progress, then it's back to a retool or try to compete right away. And that's what's going to set us back even further because we don't run a rush a proper rebuild, right? And so we've seen how bad this team has been over the last few years. Like we need a new core. We need a new direction. We need a new look for the Canucks for the future, right? And rushing it isn't going to do anything other than make us look like the Buffalo Sabres. And, I can crap on the Sabres for all they've done the last 14 years for missing the playoffs with all the talent that they have. But look at the signs. They've been missing the playoffs. They've been getting and developing their own guys and talent. And it's starting to show signs of starting to put it all together, right? And so we need a new core because I don't think this Canucks team can ever amount to being a cup contender, let alone winning a championship, which is something that this organization supposedly is their goal, which I still don't believe is their goal, is, with Pedersen around, I just don't see it happening in Vancouver. He's not going to be a part of this team that will lead us there. And the scariest thing is Aquilini's investment in Pedersen. The reason why I think they're hesitant to let him go is because they've invested so much already into him. So.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like what I said.
Anyway, I want to show this.
This new core does not start until you have like a McKenna or Stenberg. That is the starting point for your new core.
Exactly. And that's the scary thing. Like, I don't even think the Chicago rebuild really started until they have Bedard, right? And I still think they're pieces away, but they've got promising prospects on the back end, and Rinzel and Kuczynski and Bedard, and they're starting to build pieces up patiently. I'm not saying Chicago is going to be a cup contender in the next few years, but if they keep doing that, they're going to be on the path of like the Anaheims, the Sharks, who has surpassed us. And we can see clear as day from the standings alone just how far ahead those teams are. Even on a nightly basis, if you're not looking at the points and the standings of how far they are ahead of us, just look at the way they play. Just look at the way they are built as a team. Look how much depth they have, that when their superstars don't perform on any given night, they have the depth to back it up. Right. And we don't have anything in the pipeline to really step up. Like Karamaki's been great. He's been showing flashes down in the AHL and Abbey, and we've got pieces down there. But honestly, I think 50 to 60% of the guys down in Abbey are probably career AHLers. They're not going to be long-term NHLers that is going to make an impact on the big squad. And so we really need to build a new core. We need to develop and draft in quantity a lot of deep picks. And hopefully, even if we can hit on one or two of those picks, start to build an actual core and an actual team that can lead us to, not only playoffs, which is, I think, this organization's goal on a year-to-year basis, but to be a championship caliber squad, right? And so it took us this long to get players like Hughes. It took us this long to get players like Pedersen. But I think McKenna or Stenberg, or God forbid, if we have horrible draft lottery luck and we fall down to third and get a Veerhoff, you got to go best player available. You got to get one of those three. And that's why I say we're 10 points clear for last place as of tonight. And I don't think with the way we're playing, I think we have 2 wins since December 30th. Yeah, two wins in the last 20. I think we're not even going to get 10 points the rest of the way in the last 22 games. So I think we're safe for a top 3 pick. But you got to trust management to get one of the top 3 guys. McKenna, Stenberg, or Veerhoff if we drop down to third. You cannot go off the board and draft positionally. I know a lot of people are saying Malhotra, pick a center, we need a center. No, not in this class. Next year, whatever. If we're bad next year, we're bad next year. You got to go for the best player available, right? Because these kind of players like the McKennas, the Stenbergs, the Celebrinis, the Bedards, they only come once in a generation, really. And I'm not saying McKenna or Stenberg is a generational McDavid or Crosby or anything like that, but we need a game breaker, and you cannot go off the board with a top 3 pick just to draft on position. So it would be great. Get more picks. Trade deadline's coming up. Trade whatever you can. Kane, Camp. If PD's willing to waive, if Myers is willing to waive, get more picks. Get 2nd round picks. Get 3rd round picks. Package some of those up. If you want to move up into the 1st round, if you want to move up into the 2nd round, if you want to package a couple 3rd or 4th rounders to move up to the 2nd round, go after the Ruck twins. Start building guys that fans can be excited about again. Right? Not only just McKenna or Stenberg. We can't just count on one guy. We need guys like the Ruck twins. We need guys like in the 2nd or 3rd rounds to hit too. And then we'll see where we are 3 or 4 years from now when those guys start to play together, start to develop chemistry together. And then that's when hopefully rebuild will really take off. When those guys have been together for years and have really developed the chemistry together, then the squad will be better off for it. We can't be just accepting mediocrity anymore. And that has to start from organizational management, from ownership down to the very, the players themselves. They have to take accountability for what they've decided to lead us to this position. But the players also have to take accountability that they have not performed up to their standard. And this isn't acceptable anymore as Vancouver Canucks. So, and we as fans deserve so much more. We invest so much time, money and resources into the team.
And just wrote.
So,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Kotkaniemi, where is he? He's still being discussed in trade rumors. Rain is super insightful that way, and I really appreciate Rain bringing that up because we do not want history to repeat itself. I'm not saying McKenna's not going to be a good player or anything, but gotta go best player available.
Yeah.
Excuse me, guys. So
I did want to bring this up real quick because I really do like this from Shannon.
And also
From
this
Shannon.
one.
Apparently, we all should be management for the Canucks.
No.
Me, Justin,
I don't
Gerald,
get how
Sherwin,
we can
Rain.
No, not
see it
even
so
close.
clearly, and people who are being paid billions of dollars to run the team can't see it the way we see it.
Mhm.
Right? It's just mind blowing how often this ownership group, this management group has botched things. And that's what scares the living shit out of me as a Canucks fan is that they're gonna find a way to say, well, we shop Kane around, we shop camped around, and if only we could tell you the offers that were coming in for them, you would laugh us out of the room, right? And we ran out of time. Like, seriously, like, I don't care. Take a seventh back for all you can. You cannot afford, past betting history mistakes to be happening again, especially in this crucial rebuild. So I don't even care if we lose the trades right now. If it looks like we got fleeced.
No, but you know what I'm worried about right now?
Yeah.
What I'm worried about is what JR said. So you know what? He's gonna get the best prospects, draft picks, etc., at the trade deadline, whatever they can get. But he wants to be in contention next year. He wants to make the playoffs next
That
year.
scares me.
That is something that makes me worry.
That scares me a lot.
Because if he thinks they're going to compete for the playoffs next year, he's dreaming. Like, unless they can find some stroke of luck and sign some incredible like off-season free agents or whatever, and you know what?
Yeah, if McKenna or Stenberg becomes a
I
Celebrini
feel like
overnight,
they need to tank one more year.
exactly. Sure, we can maybe contend for a wild card spot if a McKenna or Stenberg becomes a Celebrini overnight. If our goaltending tandem is suddenly like Vasilevsky level, if Pedersen somehow rediscovers his game over the summer to become an 80 to 90 point guy again, a lot of ifs need to happen in order for us to even get close to a wild card spot. How realistically though, how likely is it that all those things are going to happen? Like, it makes no sense. And I don't get why JR, a veteran executive in the league who's won cups before, I know he's aging, I know he's getting up there. He can't see the long-term vision. We need to suck for at least another year or two and continue to be on the straight path of developing draft picks, drafting in quantity, and allowing this rebuild to take pace. So, the fans are going to be
He doesn't have the
understanding.
time, man. The guy needs to retire.
I think a lot of them need to, are past their prime. Like, they're trying to hang on to their days of glory and think that it's going to be
Dude,
as easily.
Grandpa's a dinosaur right now. He needs to go.
Exactly. They think their old days of glory are going to be applicable in this very situation, and they can just transfer everything over to this, shitty roster and have it the same thing happen, that we're going to go on some magical run next year with all the pieces falling into place. Like, honestly, if you're looking at the trajectory of this Canucks roster and the trajectory of the last few years, I'm starting to think more and more that the 2024 year was a outlier where we were shooting the lights out. Everyone on the roster had career years. Everyone on the roster stayed healthy all season. Like, those were just once in a blue moon flukes where everything fell into place. And the last two seasons have really shown just how fragile we are, how weak we are in all our positions, where we've had to trade core guys and even probably the best defenseman we've ever had in franchise history. That should send a lot of red flags through the fan base that this management group over evaluated where we were at, and they have to realize how far apart we are. Because I don't even think we can match up with anyone, on a nightly basis when you look at the efforts that they put out like tonight. And that's the scary part. You look at the scoreboard. Carolina somehow lost to Seattle tonight, 2-1, and they outshot Seattle 36-15 or something like that. We're gonna get a pissed off Carolina team on Wednesday.
Carolina just choked.
Yeah, Carolina somehow choked to Seattle.
Choked, like, what the hell?
Like,
that was like the worst because I had money on Carolina. And he was part of a parlay. I'm like, how is this even happening?
But, you know,
How
the
is
thing
this
is, I gotta
happening?
give
Like
Seattle a lot of
like,
credit. They're
oh
not
man,
very talented. They're not very deep, but they play like a team, and they have something to play for right now. They're right in the thick of the playoff race, and honestly, if I'm being honest, I would probably cheer for them to get in because it would increase the chances of the Oilers falling out, especially with their goaltending issues, right? We would all love to see the Oilers fall out just to see McDavid, you know, lose it, you know. But a year where Edmonton might miss the playoffs, a year where Florida might
and
miss
then
the
Mark
playoffs.
Spector can go in and like, oh, the play now Gretzky.
Exactly. And, you know, the whole trade, I don't even think that's an upgrade. I think they let in like 22 goals in the last 4 games. Like, honestly. So, I don't know, man.
Meanwhile, Skinner's
They would have done better with Skinner.
I think so. Yeah. I think so too.
No, dude, they should have traded for Seelovs, and they'd probably be doing a lot better.
Oh, don't even get me started on Seelovs. If you look at Seelovs right now, his numbers compared to Demko and Lankinen, it's not pretty.
Oh,
that was the
yeah, I
biggest
saw
botch
that last
on our part. Like Seelovs alone is outplaying Demko and Lankinen, and we're paying so much for those two. So
yeah, Lankinen should not have been extended, but you realize why they did it though. They had to.
They had to. One career year, one good
because
year.
It was
though.
an insurance.
One good year
But it
because
was
of
an
Demko's
insurance
injury
policy.
history. Yeah.
But if you chose Lankinen, why did you extend Demko? That's the question. And now
That's
we're in
another
this debacle.
Exactly.
We're potentially losing Tyler's favorite player, Tolopilo.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like what are you gonna do?
And we talked about culture being important. We need a new core to build
Tolopilo, then you have to
culture.
It works out because it takes time. It takes time for the new core, right? So you know what? Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Who knows?
And then this thing with Tyler Myers, this whole situation with Tyler Myers is a mess too. So I don't even know where to go with that because obviously Myers is being healthy scratch awaiting a trade. You know you're not wanted. You know this team is trying to, wait it out and get an offer to trade you. Now with Joseph's injury tonight, what if he doesn't waive, or what if, how awkward would it be for Myers to return to that locker room for the last 22 games? Coming back into that locker room knowing you were the guy that they were trying to trade out. Where's the loyalty? Where's the culture? Like, how motivated is Myers going to want to play?
I honestly don't care, though. It doesn't matter because they're supposed to be tanking. They're going to be tanking anyways, and he'll be traded at the draft or traded in the offseason. That's fine.
But you got to capitalize when the time is right, because when things start to, tighten up timeline-wise, it makes it a lot harder.
He has
It becomes a 12 team, right? I think it becomes a 12 team. No trade.
What are you going to do? They gave 12. Yeah, but they gave him that. Okay, seriously. All these bets that they did. Okay, Myers was re-signed by them.
Yeah.
And he got a no movement clause. They signed Hronik, no movement clause. They signed
they gave no trade, no movement clauses like candy. Clause.
They were just like throwing them out.
And the thing is, word gets around the league.
It's like you have one, you have one.
A lot of these agents represent a lot of players around the league. They share the same agents. And when you're treating a guy that takes a discount, wants to stay in your city and play for you, and you're treating him like this, airing out that you're shopping him, like why? It's fine if you're looking for a trade, but why do you have to leak it out that you're healthy scratching Tyler Myers out to the public? Do it quietly until a trade offer happens. The public doesn't need to know that until the
trade was on the table, though. The trade was on the table. They just needed Myers to give the okay. They
Yeah.
thought Myers would be okay. That's why it leaked.
Fair,
But
but
this
at the same
management
time,
is always stepping on their own foot
exactly, and
by
that's why I'm
doing
saying
these.
exactly. They're botching, their own public image in the public, because if Myers returns, then the fan base is going to lash out on management even more for how they handled it. And then it's also unfair to Myers too, because, a lot of the fan base who wants a rebuild would see the value that a Myers trade would bring in. So if Myers, with every right to his no trade clause, refuses to waive and wants to stay in Vancouver, how many of those fans are going to want to turn on Myers saying, you blocked the trade that could have helped your team, your Canucks team that you love so much that you wanted to stay in, become better for the future? I'm not saying it's deserved, and I'm not saying that Myers deserves any hate at all, because he doesn't. And obviously, there's other factors that factored into his contract wanting to stay here, with his family, with his kids' medical history, and obviously a lot of, other situations. But that's why I say this management group should not be putting Myers out there on the public like that to be a scapegoat, possibly. Because how much haters there are in our fan base, that they're not going to see it that way. They're going to see it as, a Myers as a Kessler 2.0, where he only limited his no trade clause, or he blocked the trade to prevent the Canucks from getting better. And they're going to turn on Myers. And I'm not saying it's deserved or anything.
There's two things I need to say. Two things.
Okay. Yeah.
So one, look at how they handled Besser.
Yep.
That's already a perfect scenario.
Yeah.
They basically shamed the shit out of this guy.
Yep.
And then went back
because they failed to get Dvorak,
and went back and signed him because they couldn't. Yeah, exactly. They couldn't get Dvorak.
You weren't our first choice. We threw you under the bus. You weren't our first choice, but we have to circle around back to you. Like, how do you think
you're our bitch? You're gonna sign with us anyways.
Exactly, because he knows Besser's like live and die with the Canucks. But
Stockholm syndrome. What the fuck?
Urban.
Yeah. So yeah. So the second point is, you know what? I have to say this. Because it's like, even though Myers had that 6x6, and then he ended up resigning at 3, which has worked out well because he's playing less minutes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he does not deserve the Mitch Marner treatment.
No.
He doesn't deserve that treatment when Mitch Marner left the Leafs.
Yeah.
Because come on, man, Tyler Myers he says he wants to be here. He said he wanted to be here. He earned that no trade clause.
Yes.
So if there's any fans out there that are blaming him, you're the problem.
Exactly.
You're the problem. You best not be trolling Tyler Myers.
I agree.
Okay, at the end of the day, hockey players are still people.
Exactly.
And if he doesn't want to get traded, he needs to uproot his whole family. He has to deal with a kid like that is going through some medical stuff.
Yeah.
And if you assholes troll him online, you better fucking look in the mirror and check yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you were not a hockey player, like, put yourself in a position where, you know what, it wasn't a hockey team, it wasn't a hockey player.
Yeah.
And you know what, you sign a contract for a company and you're stuck there and you're like, I'm not going to leave.
Yeah.
You earn that contract. People are not going to bust on your ass for saying, hey, you know what, you should leave the company.
Exactly.
Look at it from a different perspective. Look at it from a humane perspective.
Exactly. You got to uproot your entire life. You got to find a
So-
new place. You got to uproot your family. You got to find new schools for your kids. Like, it's not easy for these players to have to constantly be moving. And that's what a lot of the talks with Vincent Trocheck in New York was saying, is that he doesn't want to go out west because most of his family's out east. You know, there's other factors other than
Yeah.
wanting to contend for a cup or play for a cup. It's other factors that you have to take into consideration. Your partner, your family, your kids, you know, the friends they made during school. Like, how hard would it be to move to a new city for a couple months? And then who knows, if you're a UFA, you might have to do it again all over the summer if that team doesn't extend you. Because then you have to sign somewhere else and do the exact same thing a
Yeah.
couple months down the road. Right? So
this is why I'm saying that Vancouver, you guys are better. Vancouver fans, you know better, do better. Don't be like, okay, I'm not hating on the Leafs. I know we have a Leafs, fan in chat, but a lot of Leafs fans shit on Marner
they ran
because he had
Marner
to
out of
leave.
town. Yeah.
Because they strapped him. And bro, look at this. He just had a kid.
Yeah.
He just had a kid, and he had that right to choose where he would go.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the Leafs fucked up. They could have done something, but they didn't. And at the end of the day, Marner, it was either they lose Marner to UFA and he walks, or they get, I can't even remember what the trade was. It was just like a pick and some random player.
Wasn't it like
Don't blame Marner. He had a kid on the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. It already doesn't matter. But why would you blame a person wanting to choose where to go?
They've earned that right.
Or you lose him for free.
Exactly.
He earned the right, and Toronto fucked up. So if Toronto fucked up, you'd be blaming management. You wouldn't be blaming Marner.
Yeah.
He had a kid on the way, and it's like, okay, where is the best place for me to bring this child into the world and have a good upbringing and all of this? I only want to do this once. I don't want to go to Carolina and then all of a sudden I have to like move everywhere again.
Yeah.
So Toronto, like, if any of you fans are watching, man, stop blaming Marner. He had the right. You guys just fucked up. You guys couldn't do anything. Matthews couldn't do anything for him.
Yeah.
So just let it go. So now, as a precursor, please don't do that to Tyler Myers. Because Tyler Myers also has a kid that has medical issues. And like Tyler and I were talking about this at the post game the other day. The only, sort of trade that makes sense for me as a person, like, the reason why I'm talking about all this is because hockey players are people too. They will have their own issues. They will have their own problems. And you don't want to have like a Rick Rippon incident where everything is bottled up and then all of a sudden it's like poof, right? That's why I'm saying, like, the reason why Irvin and I are doing Headspace Hockey is because we want to talk about stuff like this too. It's just the mental health side of things. And with Tyler Myers, it's like the only trade that really made sense in my mind would have been Dallas. Tyler was calling for it to be a trade to be done today, and then Myers goes with the Stars today. Because at least it's close, like Dallas is close to Houston. And if there's anything, they could, if they were to move everyone over, like the family over, then they can go to his mom's place for half the season, and then they'll settle down in Dallas.
I didn't even think about Dallas, to be honest, because of the Houston angle. I was just thinking like Edmonton being so close to BC would be another viable option as well. So,
and that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
No, it's too far. And it's not like, okay, I would understand if Detroit was a contender and Myers wants to win a cup. Because Myers only had that chance. I think they made the finals in his rookie year, and then that was it. And he's never ever had a chance.
But
so
if
it's
cup
for,
was a
for
factor,
career
Dallas
aspirations,
is better. Edmonton is better. Yeah. Right? I think Dallas and
Yeah, but
Edmonton are
Dallas doesn't
probably more
have
contenders.
Dallas doesn't have the cap space. Yeah,
But
but Dallas
would they
doesn't have
not?
Edmonton doesn't have the cap space. Edmonton just went and got Connor Brown today. So there's definitely no cap
Okay.
space.
Well, yeah, after the trade today. But the question
Yeah.
is now, like, with that being factored into consideration, with the way they're handling Myers, with the way that they've handled, all the other players in the last few seasons, how attractive of a place is Vancouver to free agents? Agents talk, players talk, they all shared. Like, it's becoming
Not at all.
a no-go zone. It's becoming like, no, why would we want to go play for Vancouver when they're treating the players like this, when players have earned the right to no trade clauses and they're still putting them out there on the block and asking them to waive? Like, there's no sense of loyalty and there's no trust between management, ownership, and free agents. And that's going to be a very tough sell for a rebuild here, because it's going to be very hard to attract free agents unless you overpay for them. And that if you overpay for them, free agents are smart. They're not going to come here and expect to win right away. They're not going to be coming here with a chance to win a cup, knowing that this team is on a path to a rebuild. If they want to be part of the rebuild, great. But we're going to have to overpay for those free agents just to try to get them to come to Vancouver over other desirable locations. And that's what's going to put us in a bad positions with all these bad contracts, because if we don't want to overpay them, we're going to have to throw out no trade clauses or other sweeteners as part of their contracts just to try to entice them to come. And that's where we currently are, where we have like so many guys who are probably not worthy of no trade clauses or no movement clauses having them, because this management group tends to like to give them out like candy. So,
David Kampf, man.
exactly. Like, who else are we going to give
David
third and fourth liner guys no movement clauses? Like, who else in the league really does that, right? And so that's what I'm worried about, is that if this team is going on a path to a rebuild, we need veteran guys. We need veterans to mentor the younger pieces that are going to be coming up in the system. But we also need free agents to, fill out those extra spots. But at what cost? We don't want to overpay and strap our, cap situation where 3, 4, 5 years where they might not be performing up to their contracts, and we can't move them because we gave them no trade clauses to try to entice them to come here in the first place. So, like,
okay, so there's a
catch-22.
comment that Japan for Stevie says he doesn't feel confident in management making trade that they've made. Secondly, Swerve Irvin was saying Vancouver is either no go or overpay, and they'll only get free agents in the second week.
Scrap.
Because at this point right now, whatever scraps that are left, and players like you know what, they can still hit. It'd be like a Pius Suter.
Yeah.
Pius Suter was a huge hit.
Huge boon.
They fucking banked on that shit.
Yeah.
Right? Unless they can do that. But at this point right now, I think, you know what? It's not just a rebuild. I think everything has to be overturned.
Exactly.
Management has to be overturned. Players have to be overturned. If they really want to do this right, they have to get new management. They have to have management that's capable to trade away all the veterans, all the extra cap that they're using. Bring yourself to the cap floor if you can. And then just draft and play shitty hockey for a couple years, maybe 3 years. Get the draft picks. Dude, we got DuPont coming out next season, next draft. Dude,
I'm
this
excited.
kid is just
Phenomenal.
disgusting.
Disgusting.
Like if you have a DuPont and a McKenna or even a Stenberg, bro, like you are set on a core.
We're
with
on our way.
Buam and Lekramaki, Ogren. Dude, that's all you need to do, man.
Yeah.
But this management won't see it like this because they're like,
No,
oh, we
they're
need to
impatient.
we need to make sure Aquaman makes revenue, gets butts
And
in
that's the
seats,
biggest
and
frustration
like
because that's
sell
the one
tickets and
position
shit.
we can't change is the owner. If we could overturn everything else, it's great. I agree with you. Overturn management, overturn coaching, overturn the roster. You know, it's great. But the one position that controls it all is the owner. And I still don't trust Aquilini to be a proper owner to allow everyone underneath them to do their jobs without meddling too much. And that's why I was going to bring up to you and, Tyler, would it be a hot take to institute some sort of level in management where even if we can't replace the owner, to have a former Trevor Linden, a president of hockey ops, so that the GMs are not simply puppets, or the GMs are not simply yes men to the Aquilinis. We need an external third party, a president of hockey operations to
Bro,
oversee
if
everything.
Trevor Linden wanted to,
Trevor Linden,
Linden is not going to come back. Trust me.
he's not.
There's too big of
I'm
a
not
sour
saying that
taste in his
Trevor
mouth
Linden, but
after
I'm just saying
Benning.
a level in management where, just under the owner, under Aquilini, that oversees the hockey operations side. So that, there is a channel of communication between the GMs, whoever our new GMs are, or assistant GMs. Like, I think we have 5 or 6 assistant GMs, and I don't know how many of them are actually involved with, decision making with the draft and everything. But to have a channel just under the owner for someone to answer to, so that it's not Aquilini up there pulling the strings on, Alvin and JR all the time and saying, yes to this, yes to that. Because we need that accountability on the ownership and management level where, to have someone strong enough to go against. I know it's going to be tough because Aquilini controls so much of the organization and he has the final say. He signs off on all the checks and stuff. But I think at least it stores a little bit of accountability on the management structural level for the GMs to, hey, we got to smarten up. We got to answer to someone other than Aquilini. Right? So how likely is that to happen? Probably not very likely considering how how Aquilini runs things, but it's one can hope. Like if you're going to overturn everything, you got to overturn everything. You don't just do it half-ass, right, with the roster. And I know a lot of criticism is falling on foot. So that's another story that Russell and, Dustin is going to go off on foot. But as bad as this season's been, I'm saying be patient. Bring Foot back for another year at least. I know Russell's going to hate me for it because I don't think he can stand another season of Foot mixing up the lines, right? But if you're going to go hard for Dupont, he's the perfect guy to have in the system for at least another year of tanking. And I think management might attribute it, saying Foot got a bad hand this year. Demko got hurt, all the Heedle's injury. So, yeah, just pulling lines out of the popcorn bag, yeah, and just scrambling.
Here's your fucking grab bag. It's like, oh, how about this and this?
But
no, I mean, just missing a cigarette in your mouth.
Exactly. Just throw on a suit and you're the next Adam Foote, man. So
yeah, I don't have anything that looks like it. Justin, we're running up to close to 2 hours, but one thing that kind of went through my mind when you were saying all this.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, personally, privately.
Yeah.
But how freeing is it right now that you're able to talk like this?
I knew you were going to go there.
I really want to hear you tell us.
All right.
Viewers on the stream. How does it feel?
Full disclosure. I have nothing left to hide. For those of you in the stream that's still up at 12:30 in the morning, I used to work for the Canucks. And I say I used to. I've been there for 11 years. And, due to a lot of my opinions and a lot of my passions on social media, let's just say a lot of drama and a lot of toxicity with people within the organization being petty. Um, found it to be negative. And I'm not saying that I'm not negative because I do have a fair amount of criticism when it comes to this team, but it's only because I feel so passionate about this team. If I didn't give a shit, I wouldn't.
Asshole. Justin's an asshole. Like
I wouldn't have
only
as strong
tolerate
of an opinion.
I only tolerate it because I know he has a good heart and he's a good person. But most of the time when I talk to him, I roll my eyes and I'm like, oh,
I love
Justin.
that. Love you too, Gerald. Love you too, man. No, we're chill. But like I was saying, I was involved.
This guy's the truth, man. This guy speaks truth. So
yeah. So I worked for the Canucks for 11 years. You know, love the job, love the people. Obviously passionate about the team. So it was one of my dream jobs being a part of an organization and getting to see the ins and outs of being a fan and employee. But due to a lot of my takes and a lot of my opinions on the team, they made us sign, social media confidentiality policies when we first got hired. And I guess there's other people within the organization and within the Canucks community, both on YouTube and on Twitter, who also is working with the team. And they don't like the way that I voice my passion sometimes. So they found it petty. Instead of being a man about it, DMing me and saying, I don't agree with your takes. Let's have a mature conversation.
It wasn't okay. Wait. Let's clear this up.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Canucks. It wasn't Aquilini. It wasn't like management.
Yeah.
In the department that Justin was working in.
No, it was from a
different department.
Yeah.
We're not gonna name names because if you're within our community, if you know, we're not gonna be petty and drag his name in the mud. And by the way,
I'm
Justin,
not that
you
type
and
of person.
And Justin, you and I have to talk off camera because I have another story to tell you.
Oh,
and it's similar
I've been
to yours.
I've been hearing things about said person too. So lots to talk about.
And it's like I can be an asshole. I can be dragging this person's name in the mud, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And it's ridiculous, like how petty these people can be. But anyways, continue with your story.
So instead of, being a mature adult about it and saying, DMing me in private saying, love your passion, but I disagree with a lot of your takes and this is why, and having a mature conversation about, respecting each other's opinions, even if it differs from yours. They found it necessary to be toxic and they reported me to the organization saying that due to my passion as a fan, I shouldn't be, criticizing the team on losing and wanting to tank because it looks bad on the organization. And so obviously management pulled me up and, they had to do their whole investigations. This person who reported me screenshotted a lot of the things I've said on YouTube, a lot of the things I've said on Twitter, and a lot of the things they've even DM'd other people outside of the community saying, this person should be fired for their takes, for their passions. I have a lot of witnesses. I have a lot of evidence from this person in the community saying that, you better watch what you say. They've even threatened me on YouTube streams and YouTube comments saying, you better watch out. CSE, which stands for Canucks Sports and Entertainment, is watching. So it's legitimate online threats to me. And so they ultimately went to management. They investigated, they screen grabbed everything. They sent it in as evidence. And I got let go due to social media violations from the Canucks. Am I better? No.
Okay.
I feel like it was a good 11 years. I've enjoyed my time there. It was so freeing. Now that I can talk shit about Pedersen, now that I can talk shit about the Canucks and how shitty they are and not have any recourse whatsoever. I still love the community. I still love everyone in it. But I just think there's so much toxicity and drama with this individual in the community that I was just like, why can't you grow up? Like, grow up and just come to me at man to man and be an adult about it. Like, why do you have to run off and be a snitch about it? Right. So I'm not saying any of my takes was right because I did say what I said on those comments, and I do take accountability for those takes. But at the same time, that just comes from the point of being passionate as a Canucks fan. If I didn't care about this team, if I didn't care about the direction and the success of this team, I wouldn't say shit. But I want to see this team succeed. I want to see this team win a cup, in my lifetime. And I'm not going to apologize for being someone that I'm not. My passion as a Canucks fan is what makes me me. It doesn't take away from my work ethic when I go to work there. And that's what management brought up to me is that, when you come to work, you're great. We have such stellar records of who you are as a work employee. We trust you with training new employees. We know your work ethic. We know you're a hardworking person. And your service record speaks for exemplary, But when you come to work, it's like you're a different Justin. You're a different Justin than the fan Justin. It's like your fan Justin can't live with the work Justin and be in harmony with one another. And I'm just like honestly thinking to myself, if you guys are scouring social media profiles for takes that are criticizing your team, you should be happy that fans who are as passionate as myself and others in this community are bringing attention to your shit ass team right now in a year where there's not much to be positive about. We're bringing you fans, we're bringing you attention. Like you guys have bigger priorities to take care of rather than, worrying about what some Joe Schmo says on Twitter. And they made me sound that just because I have a semi good following on Twitter and on YouTube, they make me sound like I'm some sort of insider, like I'm some sort of celebrity. And I'm just a diehard fan. I'm not involved with media. I'm not involved with anyone, but they made me sound like all of my takes that I post or that I say represents that of an employee, which is not necessarily true. I never once shit talked anyone within the organization about my takes. My takes, I even put it in my bio that all my takes and all my opinions are that of my own as a fan. So, so for that person that found it petty to report me, I hope you, for lack of a better word, I hope you really look at yourself and check yourself that, you bullied someone out of someone that they really enjoyed doing, right? Like 11 years of my life was spent, in that Canucks organization. And out of what? Pure jealousy? And I'm hearing rumors that they didn't like my takes because I've had a few years of service over them. Or that, I was apparently the highest in seniority in my department. Like, you really have to grow up if you're being so petty over such little things. Not everyone's going to be positive, and not everyone's going to agree. Not everyone's going to agree with your opinions. I don't agree with, 70% of other people's opinions who thinks PD's, gonna bounce back. But at the same time, I respect everyone's opinion. I respect everyone's rights to an opinion. And if I have a problem with someone, I'm gonna be an adult and talk to that person privately. I'm not just gonna go to their employment places and say, this person is an asshole. This person is, a poor representation of the organization. So the good thing is I have a lot of coworkers who still work there, a lot of people who still tell me stories, and a lot of people who miss me there. But that's like, you know what? I don't miss the job. I don't miss, any bullshit, because I'm hearing a lot of things have gone to shit and hell since I've left. But I still care a lot about the people that work there. I still care a lot about the friendships I made and a lot of the, the relationships I forged. But for that person in that other department who wanted to report me, grow up. Like, look at yourself, and for God forbid, don't use anything in your personal life, whether it's your involvement with community initiative.
Don't go there. Don't go there.
Or
Don't go
anything.
there. Don't go there.
But
Okay,
just
wait. Don't go
yeah.
there. We
But
don't want to revolve
just be
this
a man
like,
about it. So just be a man
fuck,
about it.
Be careful, because we can't say too much so people can guess who this is. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the people in this chat right here know who we're talking about, but we
Yeah.
can't say things that identify this individual.
Of course not. Just be a man about it. So I wish you would have done things differently, but What's the past is the past, and hopefully you learn from it for the future and don't do it to anyone else. So
There we go. There you have it.
Honestly-
You heard it here first on the line change.
Hold up. This is all new to me. I knew
It's new to
nothing
you?
about
What?
this.
really,
Yeah,
What?
I didn't know
Really?
anything about this. No.
so
So I'm just like, huh? What? What? What?
bombshell,
Fuck.
bombshell. But trust me, I'm at peace. I'm happy. I have a lot of support here. You know, Gerald. You know, all the YouTubers that stream and do their podcasts. You know, Irvin, everyone in the CCC. You know, love you guys. Obviously for the support and for the backing. I'm so happy now. I'm at peace. I can talk my shit. I feel so liberated, and I can just enjoy being a passionate fan and not having to worry about anything else. So
Yeah, I don't know. Like me personally, I'm not too used to this Justin because he can get kind of on my nerves sometimes. But I mean, brother, I still love you. Just
I love
like
you too, man. Love
I'm
you too.
happy for you. I'm happy for you, and I'm just glad. Maybe it was like a blessing in
Blessing,
disguise that happened.
blessing in disguise. There we go.
But you know, when we talk personally,
Yeah.
you also have to be accountable for what
Of
happened,
course,
right?
and
So-
I definitely
so
own.
you put
Like
yourself
I've
in
had
that
warnings
position.
about it, but again, at the end of the day, despite the warnings that I've had from management and everything, I don't have any regrets because, like I said, it comes from a place of passion for the team. Like I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm not gonna just try to conform to who you as an organization want me to be. You're not gonna take away my fandom. You're not gonna tell me how to fan. You know, nothing I say as a fan takes away from how hard I worked for you for your 11 years. And for you to want to attribute my opinions as a fan, just because I want the team to lose and tank, and you're like, and I'm criticizing certain players, and you're saying, well, it looks negative on the organization because, you know, those players are apparently employees too. And it doesn't, it's like you trash talking your colleagues. And I'm just like, these are professional hockey players. Like, I think they don't care about what an average fan on Twitter says about them. And if they're making millions of dollars, like, I think they can afford psychiatry. Like, they have bigger issues if they worry about what fans on Twitter say about them. Like, honestly, like, I don't think, and they're like, well, you're lucky that this was brought to our attention. These comments you said were brought to our attention, because if Aquilini saw these comments about you, you know, talking about ownership, I'm just like, yeah, I'm really sure Aquilini, $1 billion owner, is just scrolling Twitter looking for any mention of his name. Like, I think he's got
I
more
don't think he
pressing
gives two
priorities.
shits.
Yeah. And I'm just like, get real. Like, honestly, thinking to myself, get real. Like, you guys have bigger priorities, you know, to worry about. How about fixing the building? How about appeasing and getting fans passionate about your team again? How about fixing everything that's broken in the arena? Like, honestly, stop worrying about
How
what
about
other
getting a
people
fucking
say.
practice facility?
Yeah,
Was
exactly.
just about to
Exactly.
say.
Like, frickin', who cares about what Joe Schmo says on Twitter? Like, honestly, like,
Yeah.
get your priorities sorted out as an organization. How about putting a contender on the ice? You know, like, it's ridiculous how misaligned their priorities are. So, you know,
Yeah.
if that person is lurking, you know, screen grab all you want. There's no repercussion, so who cares?
No,
So,
but the irony to all of this is that person actually broke the rules too. Because I know for a fact that at one of the concerts or whatever, this guy leaked it on Twitter about a cancellation or something before Rogers
Yeah.
even did anything. So if anything, this guy should be liable too. So don't
Well,
act
that-
as a fucking victim when you are doing the same shit. And then
Yeah.
don't act as a victim when you come up to me at a game and try to say hi to me and talk to me. And then I said, I don't want to talk to you. You know what? And he's like, what? I was like, you know what you did.
Yeah.
And he acts all like victim, like, oh, I'm the victim in this and that. Fuck you. Seriously. Like,
And
if you
then
watch this, fuck you.
yeah. And then for the goal of them, yeah, it's just ridiculous how it's been
You have
handled.
the fucking audacity to come up to me and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? How's it going?" You're fucking with my family right here. Like you're fucking with my family right here, and you're asking me like, "What's up?" Go fuck yourself. That's what what I
Exactly.
think.
Like I said, nothing but the utmost love to all those people who have known about this situation and for the support. And, I see the comments in the stream. Appreciate all the support, appreciate and love all of you guys. And, things happen for a reason. And like I said, I feel so liberated, so free now. So now I can just be a fan and not have to worry about what this shit organization does, you know. So all for
There we
it,
go.
but
Tyler, I'll update you on everything if you wanna or yeah, because
Dominic Toretto.
a little lost. You might be a little lost on what we're talking about,
I
but
am.
I
I
think you
don't know
can
if you
probably
can
guess.
tell. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, but this is such a like a popcorn moment. Like you need like a bag of popcorn and
There
just
you go.
like listen to it. Like this
Yeah.
is just this is something that Justin's been holding in for the longest time, and him and I have had chats, and there's other
And
people that side
yeah.
with him or that don't side with him, and it's just I feel like this was just the right time for him to just let go and just do it, because the guy looks so much freer. Like he's
Oh
just
man,
like, I added him to one of our Canucks chats, and this guy just goes off, and I have to go to him and be like, bro, chill, lay off. But like I'm happy for you. So
oh,
all the power to you, and keep being that passionate fan, my friend.
appreciate it, man. I appreciate all that you've done and all that you continue to do and open up those doors. Tyler, all I can say is, I really appreciate you too, always having such an open, heart for me to come on and, vent away. Irvin always being the encourager, saying, want to hear Mount Credible. All the jokes and aside, love breaking it down with you guys. So wouldn't change it for the world. So
Okay,
Yeah,
we're at 2:17. Let's
and it's just
wrap
like
it
the
up.
hoodie you're wearing.
yeah,
Just like the hoodie you're wearing.
it's like
Bloodline, baby.
there you go.
Bloodline, baby. Ones to the sky. Yeah.
Exactly. All ones. We are the ones. So
Yeah.
got my Carolina jersey ready for Wednesday. I'm gonna be going as a Canes fan. So hope for a 6-2 Carolina win. So
Are you going with Chen?
yeah, that's the
Nice.
plan. That's the plan. Yeah. So we'll see.
Should be a
Got
good
Wednesday off. I'm gonna help her with a few things, and then I'll probably be at the game. So heard some interesting tea tonight from fellow colleague of mine, Selena. So about some of the managers and supervisors, and very juicy tea. So that's gonna be interesting as well. So oh man,
It's a
you
homecoming
know,
adjusting at Rogers Arena.
yeah. People getting arrested, people quitting, a whole bunch of shit. So
Yeah. You might actually see rain there.
oh nice.
Rain's
Rain for
good.
sure. Sure. Hopefully we can meet up sometime or something. That'd be cool to see you at the game.
I was supposed to try to meet Rain on Wednesday, but he's coming mid-month, so I'll probably meet up with him then.
Cool.
And maybe do something, I don't know, live with him, but
That would be cool.
excited. Welcome back, Rain.
We need more
can't wait to-
big brain Reigns takes.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys are at the game tomorrow, first intermission at Legends locker room by 3:16. I don't think Clay is going.
No.
Rain
at
is
game
actually at on. Yeah, Rain is. Oh yeah, this game Rain is at the Club 500.
Club 500.
But I
Nice.
think on
Sushi.
the 14th. on the 14th, he's going to be in Upper Bowls. So we'll try. I mean, with tickets so low right now, I mean, I've used up
Apparently
pretty much all my
$50.
seasons.
Apparently $50 for Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh,
Is it less now?
for Carolina. The most expensive that I've seen online apparently is the Seattle game. And then the rest are like 36 to like 40.
That's the one good thing about the team being this bad is that ticket prices are going to drop dramatically. Yes, you're still paying to go watch a loss 90% of the time, but still, it's much more affordable just to get in, especially for families who want to catch a game or something. Now's the chance to do it. So
yeah, and just make sure you go to section 311 guest services or section 114. Go fill out a form, be a responsible driver, and they give you a free drink. So yeah, that saves you some money there because everything at the arena have increased by at least 20%.
I heard it's $9 for a bottle of water now. It's ridiculous.
Bring a water bottle, bring an empty water bottle and get it
Exactly.
filled. They have fountains there.
Exactly.
If not, like I said, section 311, guest services, or 114. Is it 114?
Yeah, 114.
It's 114. Yeah.
Right beside the team store.
Just fill out one of those
311.
forms. It's the Heineken Zero Responsible Drivers Program. You just write your name, age, I believe phone number or email, and then they'll give you a slip, and you just
sign it
and get a free
and then
drink.
they turn it in. They give you a voucher for a free non-alcoholic drink that you can cash in at any stand. My strategy: go to each of the guest services so you can get multiples throughout the night. Because so I'm giving you all the insider information, but I could care less.
But make sure you do that before the first intermission, because after the first intermission they stop it.
Yeah. And the good thing is they don't actually have dates on them, last I checked. So you can actually just hoard a couple and bring it to future games.
Dude, this stream, we're gonna get flagged, man. Aquilini is gonna be watching and he's gonna flag us.
Yeah, I'm sure he's watching at fucking 1 a.m.
They're not gonna watch this.
Exactly. So
yeah, they're not gonna watch this at all. Not gonna watch it at all. Adam Foote's a buffoon, blah blah blah.
Hey, actually be careful because I have a friend in the chat that knows Adam Foote personally. So if he sends this out, we're fucked. So
it's fine.
Yeah.
If they change it, I still have connections in the arena.
Stream.
I still have connections in the arena. Exactly. So even if they flag it and they change it, I still have connections in the arena that can easily get us stuff. So
I know a person that has a sheet of the thing. So
yeah.
So we'll go with that.
Just mass photocopy them all. just
cool.
That.
Okay. Let's end it off here.
That's cool.
It's 4 minutes to 1. And Justin, appreciate you coming on here.
Appreciate
Tyler,
the venue.
Thank you for letting me do this again. I'm gonna do one last plug. Remember, March 5th, 10 p.m. Swerve and Irvin and I will be doing our first show on Headspace Hockey at 10 p.m. You're all invited. Feel free to go. Oh, perfect. Tyler even has the header there.
Nice.
Feel free to head over to that link. Subscribe to us. Ring that, click that bell so you know when we're on. We'll talk a bit more about mental health and hockey, Headspace Hockey, because I'm an advocate for mental health. And Swerve and Irvin is on board with that also. And we love our hockey. We're passionate just like Justin. So hopefully we'll be pushing out some good content, but reach out to us at Headspace Hockey. We're actually on Twitter, on X right now under the same name. Give us a follow, DM us if you have questions. Instagram will be coming out soon. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Sounds good.
sorry. And just one more thing. Tyler and I will be probably doing a trade deadline show on the 6th. So we'll be doing a collab with both channels. Still figuring out how we do that, but we'll be doing that. So we'll be streaming simultaneously on both channels. And still figuring out the time. We're thinking probably an hour before the trade deadline, so about 11 a.m. And
Yeah.
we'll probably run it for maybe a couple hours. So if you guys have time, drop by. Swerve Irvin is probably going to jump on with us around 2. So we'll have all that information for you by Thursday, the 5th. So Swerve and Irvin and I will tell you about it. Tyler and I will work in the backgrounds and get that all set up. But once again, thank you, Justin, for coming on. So glad you
Thanks for
got
having me, guys.
that monkey off
Appreciate
the
it.
back. And I'll give it off to Tyler.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for giving me the space. So appreciate it.
Yeah, you're always welcome here, Justin. And like I said, I had no idea about this, so I'm glad I'm hearing about it. And I'm sure you and I will talk off camera,
for sure.
so I can get be filled in on what's going on, because I feel like a deer in headlights, just going like what, huh. But anyway, I mean, also, I don't have a reason to go to the games anymore because Justin's not there. So, boo. But anyway, yeah, as always appreciate you, Justin.
Appreciate you
and
guys.
once again, the link to Headspace Hockey is right there in the comments. It's highlighted there. Definitely go ahead and check them out. But yeah, we'll end this by going. If you guys enjoyed this post game show, I know it feels like ages ago that we actually talked about the fucking game. But there wasn't also much to talk about, so kind of have to give us that. But yeah, also, if you guys enjoyed this, though, you guys, oh crap, there you go. If you guys want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, be sure to hit the like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications, so you don't miss a single video. And you guys can also purchase some Line Change merch available thelinechangepodcast.threadless.com. Also, if you want to have more conversations, kind of like what we just did now, join our official Discord. There's a link to it in the description. It is completely free to join. Also, if you want to find and interact with us on all over social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, even Blue Sky. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. Speaking of platforms, if you prefer an audio version of this podcast, you can find us on both Spotify and Apple Podcast. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us on either platform. It is, of course, greatly appreciated. Also, you can download your favorite episode as well. That helps out the channel or the podcast as well. You can do so at your own leisure. But we also have, let me find it. There you go. This video has been a presentation of both DraftKings Sportsbook as well as the Hockey Podcast Network. Be sure to check out the network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com, the home of hockey podcasts, where it's every team, everywhere. There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah, there we go. And we'll end it there. Once again, Justin, as always, love having you on.
Thanks, guys.
G, obviously, always, the contributor for all these post games. And of course, once again, here, I'll bring it up in the comments. Crap, where'd it go? The link, Headspace Hockey. Check it out. Thursday, 10 p.m. They're having their first live stream. I'll be watching, so definitely check that out and obviously show them some love. But that's going to do it for this post-game show. I know ran a lot longer than we anticipated, but hey, we got some pretty darn good tea in this one. So this is Tyler signing off. To my right is G. To my other right is Justin Credible, Mount Credible. And hey, I said it. Justin's got a lot to get off his chest, and I didn't realize you
Always.
had that much to get off your chest. But I'm
Always,
glad you
man.
were able to.
Appreciate it.
This has been the line change. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed this post game. We will be back for Wednesday. We'll be doing another post game for that, and obviously, you know, our big trade deadline joint show on Friday. Very much looking forward to that, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.
All right. Good night, guys.